5 new Alberta immigration changes introduced in April and March 2025. As we step into spring 2025, Canada has rolled out a wave of important updates that could impact your finances, immigration plans, and travel opportunities. From brand new Alberta immigration changes to the latest CRA tax credits and even regions now off-limits for low-wage LMIA processing, there's a lot to unpack. If you are interested in this topic, please pay attention and watch the video through to the end to get all the information. Please hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to push the notification bell for an upcoming video. Alberta's AAIP immigration updates for 2025. Alberta, one of Canada's most economically vibrant and diverse provinces, has long been a preferred destination for immigrants seeking better job prospects, a high quality of life, and welcoming communities. Known for its booming industries including energy, agriculture, healthcare, and technology, Alberta continues to attract skilled workers, entrepreneurs, and families from around the globe. At the heart of Alberta's immigration strategy is the Alberta Advantage Immigration Program. This provincial nominee program is designed to address Alberta's labor market needs and long-term economic goals by inviting qualified immigrants to become permanent residents. The AAIP has undergone several changes in recent years, but the updates introduced in early 2025 mark a major shift in how candidates apply, qualify, and settle in the province. Here's an in-depth look at the 5 most important updates to the AAIP for 2025, how they may affect your immigration plans, and how you can prepare. 1. Acceptance of Pearson Test of English Core for language requirements. Effective date, April 1, 2025. What's new? Starting April 1, 2025, AAIP will officially recognize the Pearson Test of English Core as a valid language proficiency test across all its streams. Previously, applicants were limited to IELTS, General Training, CELPIP, General, and TEF Canada, for French. The inclusion of PTE Core brings Alberta in line with Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, which also began accepting PTE Core in 2024. Why it matters: language proficiency is a fundamental requirement for immigration to Canada. By accepting the PTE Core, Alberta expands options for applicants, particularly those who prefer digital, fast turnaround testing. The PTE Core is a computer-based exam known for delivering results in as little as 48 hours and focuses on real-life English usage in workplace and everyday scenarios. Who's affected? This change impacts all AAIP applicants, including those applying through Alberta Opportunity Stream, Alberta Express Entry Stream, Rural Renewal Stream, Graduate and Rural Entrepreneur Streams. How to prepare: if you're targeting a 2025 application, you now have more flexibility. Visit the official Pearson PTE website to understand the format, scoring system, and prep tools. With faster results, PTE Core could be the edge you need in a time-sensitive immigration process. 2. Increased application fees for worker streams. Effective date, April 1, 2025. What's new? The application fee for AAIP worker streams will rise to $1,500, marking a significant increase from previous rates. The change applies to the following worker-focused streams: Alberta Opportunity Stream, Alberta Express Entry Stream, Rural Renewal Stream, Tourism and Hospitality Stream. Fees for entrepreneur streams remain at $3,500, while smaller administrative requests, e.g., reconsideration or support letters, are still between $150 to $250. Why it matters: cost is a critical factor for many immigrants. The higher fee reflects the growing administrative and service delivery costs associated with processing applications. It also emphasizes Alberta's goal of maintaining a financially sustainable immigration program. Who's affected? Anyone submitting an AAIP worker stream application on or after April 1, 2025, must pay the updated fee. However, applications submitted before that date will still be processed under the previous fee structure. How to prepare: review your immigration budget to accommodate the new fees. If you plan to apply soon, consider submitting your application before April 1 to save money. Also, visit the AAIP fee schedule online for the most up-to-date pricing on other services. 3. More flexibility in updating express entry profiles. Effective date, March 17, 2025. What's new? AAIP has introduced a flexible policy allowing applicants to update their express entry profiles even if those profiles expire before a nomination decision is made. This applies to profiles submitted on or after September 30, 2024. Why it matters: express entry profiles are only valid for 12 months. In many cases, delays in processing can cause profiles to expire, forcing candidates to start over. The new policy provides a lifeline. If your profile is expiring, you can now refresh it and notify AAIP to continue processing your application. Who's affected? This affects candidates in the Alberta Express Entry stream, especially those with pending applications or approaching profile expiry. How to prepare? Track your profile's expiry date and plan to update it early if needed. Make sure all your documents such as language test results, job offers, and educational credentials are valid and up to date. Be proactive to avoid interruptions in your application. 4. Alberta opts out of Federal Work Permit Public Policy for 2025. Effective date, March 17, 2025. What's new? Alberta has declined to participate in the federal government's 2025 Temporary Public Policy for Expedited Work Permits for Provincial Nominee Program, PNP, candidates. This policy was designed to help nominees begin working in Canada while waiting for permanent residency. Why it matters: by opting out, Alberta retains more control over who it nominates and how it addresses provincial labor needs. While this gives Alberta more autonomy, it may also mean longer wait times and added steps for nominees hoping to transition quickly to the workforce. Who's affected? Prospective AAIP nominees, especially those on visitor or student visas, may face delays in securing work permits. You'll need to follow the standard IRCC work permit process, which may involve longer processing times and more documentation. How to prepare? If you're waiting for an AAIP nomination, consult with an immigration expert about the standard work permit routes and timelines. Build flexibility into your plans in case additional steps are needed before you can start working in Alberta. 5. End of the Family Connection and Occupation in Demand Pathway. Effective date, March 17, 2025. What's new? The Family Connection and Occupation in Demand Pathway under the Alberta Express Entry stream will be discontinued. Until now, this option allowed candidates with Alberta-based family and/or skills in high-demand occupations, e.g., healthcare, trades, to receive priority invitations. Why it matters? This pathway has historically helped Alberta attract skilled workers with family ties who were more likely to integrate successfully. Its closure shifts the focus toward broader, merit-based criteria under the Expression of Interest (EOI) system introduced in September 2024. Who's affected? Express entry candidates who were relying on a family member's residency or work in Alberta or working in high-demand roles will need to strengthen other aspects of their profile to remain competitive. How to prepare? Make the most of the EOI point system by focusing on language proficiency, Canadian education or work experience, and age. If you have family in Alberta, include their details in your profile. This still earns bonus points, even without a dedicated pathway. Conclusion: Alberta's immigration future in 2025. The 2025 updates to the Alberta Advantage Immigration Program reflect a broader strategy, balancing accessibility for newcomers with provincial autonomy and economic alignment. The changes, ranging from expanded language test options to increased fees, profile flexibility, and pathway restructuring, mark a new chapter in Alberta's immigration journey. For immigrants, these updates bring both challenges and opportunities. By staying informed, acting early, and planning carefully, applicants can position themselves for success in one of Canada's most promising provinces. 10 Best CRA Tax Credits and Deductions You Can Claim in 2025. Tax season is officially on in Canada, and if you're among the millions of taxpayers rushing to meet the April 30, 2025 deadline, you're likely searching for strategies to increase your refund or avoid a substantial tax bill. The good news? The Canada Revenue Agency has a wealth of tax credits and deductions for your 2024 return, many of which are often overlooked. Whether you're a student, worker, parent, or caregiver, there's likely a tax-saving gem waiting for you. From home office perks to first-time homebuyer bonuses, we've got the details to help you file smarter. Let's dive in and explore how to maximize your 2024 tax return starting now. 1. Canada Employment Amount. If you worked full-time, part-time, or even seasonally in 2024, the Canada Employment Amount can provide you with a tax break. This credit recognizes the hidden expenses associated with working, such as commuting and attire, without requiring you to search through old receipts. Who qualifies? Anyone who earned a paycheck in 2024 can tap into this credit. No matter your job, retail, office, or gig work you're in, as long as it's not self-employment income. How much you can save? You can claim up to $1,433 off your income. It's not a direct cash payout, but it lowers what you owe the CRA or boosts your refund. Earned less than $1,433? You can only claim what you made, so if your employment income was $800, that's your cap. How to claim it? It's dead simple. Check your employment income on lines 10,100 and 10,400 of your tax return, then enter the lesser of $1,433 or that total on line 31260. This credit is a no-brainer for workers. With no paperwork hassle, it's an easy way to cut your tax bill. 2. Canada Workers Benefit. The Canada Workers Benefit is a lifeline for low-income workers, putting extra money in your pocket whether you're single or supporting a family. Additionally, if you qualify for the disability tax credit, there's an additional top-up waiting. Who qualifies? You re-eligible if you worked in 2024 but didn't rake in big bucks. Income thresholds vary by province. Alberta, Quebec, and Nunavut have their own rules, so check your local CRA guidelines. How much you can save? For 2024, singles can snag up to $1,590, while families can claim up to $2,739. Got a disability? Add up to $821 more. Best part, it's refundable, meaning you get paid even if you owe zero money. Plus, you can snag up to half of it as advance payments throughout the year, no waiting required. How to claim it? File your taxes with Schedule 6, paper filers, or let certified software guide you. Eligible? The CRA auto-sends advance payments if you file by November 1, 2025. No extra application is needed, just don't miss the deadline. The CWB is a rare refundable credit that delivers real cash, not just tax relief. For struggling workers, it's a financial boost that hits when you need it most. 3. Home office expenses. Worked from home in 2024? If your boss required it verbally or in writing, you can deduct home office expenses like rent, utilities, or internet. Even your kitchen table counts as a workspace if it's your regular work spot. Who qualifies? Remote employees who paid out-of-pocket for work-from-home costs in 2024 qualify. Note, the flat rate method died in 2023, so you'll use the detailed method now. How much you can save? This deduction shrinks your income, not your tax directly. The amount depends on your workspace size, e.g., 10% of your home, and eligible costs like rent or repairs. Can't claim full bills, just the work-related chunk. How to claim it? Grab a signed Form T2200 from your employer, then crunch the numbers on Form T777, CRA's calculator helps. Report the total on line 22900. Keep receipts for 6 years, better safe than audited. With remote work still booming, this deduction turns your home into a tax-saving asset. It's a must-claim for hybrid workers. 4. Tuition credit for students. Studying in 2024? The tuition credit covers eligible fees, Canada or abroad, easing your tax load. The education and textbook credits are gone, RIP 2017, but tuition lives on, and you can use leftover credits from past years. Who qualifies? Students paying over $100 in tuition per institution in 2024 qualify. Do you have receipts or a T2202 form? You're golden. How much you can save? This non-refundable credit cuts your tax owed, not your bank balance. Claim fees above $100, transfer up to $5,000 to family, or carry forward what you don't use. Amount varies by fees and prior credits. How to claim it? Fill out Schedule 11, plug the total into line 32,300, and keep your T2202 handy. Transferring? Use the form's transfer section. No receipts needed up front, just don't lose them. Education's pricey. This credit softens the blow and keeps savings flexible for future years. 5. Canada Training Credit. Took a course or exam in 2024? The Canada Training Credit refunds part of your costs and it's refundable, so you get cash even if you owe no money to report. Who qualifies? Ages 26 to 65, living in Canada all year, with a CTC limit on your CRA notice of assessment. You're in. Check my account for your limit. How much you can save? Claim 50% of fees or your 2024 limit, usually $250, whichever's less. Lifetime max is $5,000, growing by $250 yearly. Spend $1,000, limit $500? You get $500 back. How to claim it? Enter it on line 45350 via Schedule 11 or tax software. Extra credit over your bill? That's a refund check. Lifelong learning pays off literally. This credit rewards upskilling with cold, hard cash. 6. Student loan interest to ease the debt. Paying off a government student loan in 2024? Claim the interest to lighten your tax load. Private loans or consolidations don't count, though. Who qualifies? Borrowers with Canada student loans or provincial equivalents qualify. Only you can claim it, not mom or dad. How much you can save? This non-refundable credit trims your tax bill by 2024 interest, or past 5 years' worth. No money owed? Save it for later. How to claim it? Add interest to line 31,900, federal, and 58520, provincial. File online? Keep receipts. Paper? Attach proof. Student debt's brutal. This credit's a small but sweet relief for grads grinding it out. 7. Home buyer's amount. Bought your first home in 2024? The home buyer's amount gives newbies a tax break. No home owned in 4 years, unless disabled? You're eligible. First-timers buying in Canada, houses, condos, mobiles who'll live there within a year qualify. How much you can save? Claim $10,000 as a non-refundable credit. Split it with a co-buyer, but max is $10,000 total. Lowers your tax, not your wallet. Enter $10,000 on line 31270. Keep purchase docs, no need to send unless asked. Homeownership's a milestone. This credit cushions the hit for new buyers. 8. Donations credit. Donated in 2024 or by February 28, 2025? Claim it. Covers past 5 years. 10 for eco-gifts, if unclaimed, as long as it's to a qualified donee. Anyone giving to registered charities or approved groups. How much you can save? Non-refundable credit up to 75% of income, 100% for capital property. Carry forward 5 years for max savings. Use Schedule 9, enter total on line 34900. Keep receipts, use old donations first. Charity pays twice. Feel good vibes plus tax relief. 9. Canada Caregiver Credit. Caring for an impaired loved one? This non-refundable credit offsets costs for supporting dependents. Caregivers of spouses, kids, or relatives with impairments who rely on you. Must live in Canada. How much you can save? Up to $8,375, over 18, or $2,616, under 18, based on income and other credits. Fill Schedule 5, pick the right line, $30,300 to $30,500. Keep medical proof handy. Caregiving's tough. This credit eases the financial load. 10. Child care expenses. Paid for child care in 2024 to work or study? Deducted if your kid's under 16 or impaired. Parents using Canadian Care Services for income or education purposes. How much you can save? Deduction lowers taxable income, covers daycare, camps, not extras like clothes. No carry forward, so claim now. Use Form T778, report on line 21400. Keep detailed receipts with SINs. Child care's pricey. This deduction keeps more money in your family's pocket. Bonus tip, don't leave money behind. Tax season doesn't have to drain your wallet with these 10 secret tax breaks. You're armed to slash your 2024 Canadian tax bill and keep more cash in your pocket. From the Canada Workers' Benefit to home office deductions, these hidden gems can transform your return into a windfall. New Ontario Trillium Benefit payment to be sent on April 10th. The next Ontario Trillium Benefit payment is dropping on April 10, 2025, bringing relief to thousands of Ontario residents. With a recent increase rolled out in 2024, this vital program is designed to help low and moderate-income households keep up with soaring costs like energy bills, property taxes, and sales taxes. Curious about how much you could get, who qualifies, and how to secure your payout? This ultimate guide has all the details you need to cash in on this essential benefit. What is the Ontario Trillium Benefit? The Ontario Trillium Benefit is a game-changing, tax-free financial lifeline that combines 3 key provincial credits. Ontario Energy and Property Tax Credit covers energy costs and property taxes. Northern Ontario Energy Credit supports residents in the north with energy expenses. Ontario Sales Tax Credit eases the burden of sales taxes. Managed by the Canada Revenue Agency, the OTB delivers monthly or lump sum payments based on your previous year's tax return. Whether you're a renter, homeowner, or northern resident, this benefit could put hundreds or even thousands back in your pocket. Ontario Trillium Benefit payment dates for 2025. Mark your calendars. Here's when you can expect your OTB payments in 2025. April 10, 2025. May 9, 2025. June 10, 2025. July 10, 2025. August 8, 2025. September 10, 2025. October 10, 2025. November 10, 2025. December 10, 2025. Good to know, if your total OTB is $360 or less, you likely received a one-time payment in July 2024. For amounts over $360, payments are split into 12 monthly installments starting in July. To avoid delays, ensure your address and banking info are up to date with the CRA. Who qualifies for the Ontario Trillium Benefit in 2025? Wondering if you're eligible? Here's the breakdown. You must be an Ontario resident. You filed your 2023 income tax return. You have a valid social insurance number. If all of the above applies to you, then you could be eligible for OTB until June 2025. However, from July 2025 onwards, you will only be eligible if you filed your 2024 income tax return. Each credit within the OTB has specific rules. Ontario Sales Tax Credit, be 19 or older, a parent living with your child, or in a married/common law relationship. Ontario Energy and Property Tax Credit, paid rent or property taxes in Ontario in 2023 to meet eligibility until June 2025 payments. Covered energy costs on a reserve or lived in a long-term care home. Northern Ontario Energy Credit, NOEC. Reside in Northern Ontario, think Sudbury, Thunder Bay, etc. Be 18 or older, married, or a parent. Paid energy costs or property taxes. How much cash can you get from the OTB? Your payout depends on income, family size, and where you live. Here's the maximum annual amount you could score until June 2025. Northern Ontario Energy Credit, NOEC. $180 for singles. $277 for families. Ontario Energy and Property Tax Credit, OEPTC. $1,248 for adults aged 18 to 64. $1,421 for seniors 65 plus. $277 for reserve residents or long-term care occupants. $25 for students in residence. Ontario Sales Tax Credit, OSTC. Up to $360 per adult or child in your household. That's potentially over $2,000 for some households' money that can cover bills, groceries, or whatever you need most. How to claim your Ontario Trillium benefit. Securing your OTB is easier than you think. File your 2024 taxes. Your eligibility hinges on this for payments after June 2025, so don't skip it. Update your info, keep your address, marital status, and banking details current with the CRA. Check your credits, confirm you qualify for OSTC, OEPTC, or NOEC to maximize your payout. Pro tip, sign up for direct deposit with the CRA for faster access to your funds. 5 hacks to boost your OTB payment. Want to get the most out of this benefit? Try these. Report everything, include all rent, property taxes, and energy costs on your tax return. Avoid mistakes, double-check your tax filing to prevent delays or reductions. Go digital, opt for direct deposit to skip the wait for a check. Talk to an expert, a tax pro can spot extra credits you might miss. File early, beat the rush to lock in your payments on time. Regions in Canada where low-wage LMIAs won't be processed, as of April 4th. The federal government has released its quarterly list of census metropolitan areas where low-wage labor market impact assessments will not be processed. In August 2024, it was announced that the government would stop processing LMIA applications under the low-wage stream of the Temporary Foreign Worker Program for CMAs with an unemployment rate of 6% or higher. Since then, it has been releasing a list of CMAs with their corresponding unemployment rate. If the unemployment rate is 6% or more, low-wage LMIA applications in that CMA will not be processed. Its recent update lists which CMAs will not process low-wage LMIAs between April 4th and July 10, 2025. Without an LMIA, employers cannot hire a foreign national under the TFWP, nor can a TFWP worker renew their work permit. Which CMAs are ineligible as of April 4th? The government has identified 24 CMAs with unemployment rates of 6% or higher. These regions in Canada, listed below, will not process low-wage LMIA applications over the next 3 months. Table here. The government will update this list every 3 months. The next update to this list will come on July 11th. How do I know if a work location is in a CMA? To determine whether your job falls under one of these CMAs, enter the full postal code of the work location in the Census of Population search. Check the Census Metropolitan Area/Census Agglomeration result on the Geography search results page. If this level isn't listed, your application is still eligible. If it shows Census Agglomeration, your application is still eligible. If it shows Census Metropolitan Area, you can check if the CMA is listed in the above table. If it is, your application will not be processed for the next 3 months. Which CMAs were removed from the list this quarter? Some CMAs had unemployment rates of 6% or higher between January 9th and April 3rd, but are no longer on the list. In other words, these CMAs weren't processing low-wage LMIAs in the first quarter of 2025, but they will in the second quarter of 2025. Regina, Saskatchewan, 5.9%. London, Ontario, 5.5%. What can I do if a position is in a CMA with an unemployment rate above 6%? Both employers and employees should check the unemployment rate of the CMA where the job position is located before submitting a low-wage LMIA application. This will help them find out whether the application will be processed or not. If an employer wishes to hire a foreign worker under the TFWP in a CMA with an unemployment rate of 6% or higher, they can increase the wage of the position so that it falls under the high-wage stream of the TFWP. Employees with a job offer under the low-wage stream in a CMA where unemployment is 6% or higher can ask if their employers are willing to wait 3 months in case there is any change to the unemployment rates. Those still searching for a suitable job under the low-wage stream of the TFWP can focus their job hunt on CMAs where LMIAs are still being processed. Those currently on a low-wage TFWP work permit who lose status because their permit cannot be extended must stop working. A worker who loses work status can apply for a visitor record to remain in Canada as a visitor, if they wish. What is a CMA? A CMA is a region formed by one or more adjacent municipalities around a core population center, known as the core. A CMA must have a total population of at least 100,000, based on data from the current Census of Population program, of which 50,000 or more must live in the core based on adjusted data from the previous Census of Population program. Once an area has been designated as a CMA, it retains this status even if its population falls below the population threshold. Visa-free countries for Canadian passport holders in 2025. Visa-free countries for Canadian passport holders. Are you a Canadian passport holder dreaming of your next global adventure? Your Canadian passport is your golden ticket to explore countless destinations without the hassle of a visa. Ranked 7th on Henley's Passport Index in 2025, the Canadian passport unlocks visa-free or visa-on-arrival access to approximately 185 countries. Whether it's a spontaneous getaway, a business trip, or a cultural immersion, this guide reveals the full list of visa-free countries for Canadian passport holders in 2025, plus insider travel tips to make your journey seamless. Why is the Canadian passport so powerful? The Canadian passport consistently ranks among the world's top 10 most powerful travel documents. Thanks to Canada's strong diplomatic ties, trusted security measures, and robust immigration policies, Canadian citizens enjoy visa-free or simplified entry to a vast array of countries. In 2025, you can travel to around 185 destinations with minimal paperwork, making it easier than ever to explore Europe, Asia, Africa, and beyond. Understanding entry policies for Canadian travelers. Before we list the visa-free countries, here's a quick breakdown of the entry types you'll encounter. Visa-free, enter without any visa, simply show your passport and go. Duration varies by country. Visa on arrival, get your visa when you land, no pre-application needed. Electronic travel authorization, apply online for a digital travel permit before departure. Visa required, a traditional visa is needed from the country's embassy or consulate beforehand. Full list of visa-free countries for Canadian passport holders in 2025. Here's the ultimate, up-to-date list of countries Canadian passport holders can visit without a prior visa. Pack your bags and get ready to explore. 1. Visa-free countries, duration-specific. Visa-free for 90 days. Albania, Andorra, Angola, Anguilla, Argentina, Austria, Belgium, Bermuda, Bolivia, Bonaire, St. Eustatius and Saba, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Botswana, Brazil, British Virgin Islands, Bulgaria, Chile, Colombia, Costa Rica, Croatia, Curacao, Cyprus, Czechia, Denmark, Ecuador, El Salvador, Estonia, Faroe Islands, Finland, France, French Guiana, French Polynesia, French West Indies, Georgia, Gambia, Germany, Gibraltar, Greece, Greenland, Grenada, Guam, Guatemala, Guyana, Haiti, Honduras, Hong Kong, Hungary, Iceland, Iraq, Ireland, Italy, Jamaica, Japan, Kosovo, Latvia, Liechtenstein, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Malaysia, Malta, Mauritius, Mayotte, Moldova, Monaco, Montenegro, Montserrat, Morocco, Mozambique, Netherlands, New Caledonia, Nicaragua, North Macedonia, Northern Mariana Islands, Norway, Poland, Portugal, Reunion, Romania, San Marino, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Martin, Senegal, Serbia, Slovakia, Slovenia, South Africa, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, Taiwan, Chinese Taipei, Turks and Caicos Islands, Ukraine, Uruguay, Vatican City, Zambia, visa-free for 180 days, Antigua and Barbuda, Bahamas, Barbados, Cayman Islands, Dominica, Dominican Republic, Mexico, Panama, Peru, Puerto Rico, South Korea, St. Kitts and Nevis, Trinidad and Tobago, United States of America, U.S. Virgin Islands, visa-free for 240 days, Bahamas, visa-free for 120 days, Fiji, Kiribati, Tunisia, visa-free for 60 days, Kyrgyzstan, visa-free for 42 days, St. Lucia, visa-free for 30 days, Belarus, Belize, Brunei, Cook Islands, Eswatini, Falkland Islands, Kazakhstan, Lesotho, Macau, SAR China, Micronesia, Mongolia, Niue, Philippines, Palestinian Territory, São Tomé and Príncipe, Singapore, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Tajikistan, Thailand, Uzbekistan, Vanuatu, visa-free for 14 days, Oman, 2 visa on arrival or e-visa countries, e-visa, online application required, Azerbaijan, Benin, Burkina Faso, Cameroon, Cuba, Ethiopia, Equatorial Guinea, Gabon, Guinea, India, Madagascar, Malawi, Mauritania, Papua New Guinea, Pakistan, Paraguay, Syria, Suriname, Togo, Turkey, Uganda, Vietnam, Zambia, visa on arrival, issued at entry point, Armenia, Bahrain, Bangladesh, Burundi, Cambodia, Cape Verde Islands, Comoros, Djibouti, Egypt, Gabon, Guinea-Bissau, Indonesia, Jordan, Kuwait, Laos, Lebanon, Maldives, Marshall Islands, Myanmar, Namibia, Nepal, Palau, Qatar, Rwanda, Samoa, Saudi Arabia, Sierra Leone, Solomon Islands, Somalia, St. Helena, Tanzania, Timor-Leste, Tonga, Tuvalu, United Arab Emirates, Zambia, Zimbabwe. 3 visa-required countries. For these destinations, Canadians must secure a visa in advance. Afghanistan, Algeria, Bhutan, Central African Republic, Chad, China, Congo, Côte d'Ivoire, Eritrea, Ghana, Iran, Liberia, Libya, Mali, Nauru, Niger, Nigeria, North Korea, Russia, South Sudan, Sudan, Turkmenistan, Venezuela, Yemen. 4 ETA required. American Samoa, Australia, Israel, New Zealand, Seychelles, Sri Lanka, United Kingdom, Kenya. Source, Henley's Passport Index. Verify entry rules. Immigration policies can shift. Always check the latest requirements with the destination's embassy or consulate before you travel. Passport validity. Ensure your passport is valid for at least 6 months beyond your planned return date. ETAs for Europe. Starting in late 2026, Canadians need an ETAs authorization for Schengen area countries, up to 90 days. From the beaches of Barbados to the historic streets of Rome, your Canadian passport opens doors to incredible destinations in 2025. With visa-free or simplified access to around 185 countries, your next adventure is just a flight away. What's the difference between visa-free and visa on arrival? Visa-free means no visa is needed at all, just enter with your passport. Visa on arrival means you'll get a visa when you arrive at your destination. Do Canadians need a visa for the US? No visa is required for land or sea entry, but an ETA is mandatory for air travel. Can Canadians travel visa-free to Europe? Yes, for up to 90 days in Schengen countries, but an ETAs will be required starting in late 2026. That wraps up this quick roundup of Canada's key updates for April 2025, from immigration changes and tax credit opportunities to provincial benefits and travel perks for Canadian passport holders. Staying informed can help you make smarter decisions, save more money, and navigate policy changes with confidence. That is all for today, in this video. What are your thoughts on this? Please let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching the entire video. Hopefully, the information is useful to you. See you later, in the next video. Till then, take care.